and welcome to the Centennial College Game of the Week, as the Centennial College Alumni men's basketball team takes on the 93-94 edition of the squad. It's our first broadcast from the Dell Gym here on the Progress campus of Centennial College. I'm Glenn Sutherland, and I'll be your host tonight. Well, the Colts alumni feature 12 players who have taken to the floor here at the Dell Gym and numerous other OCAA gyms around Ontario, including Calvin Smith and Roy Bailey, who are members of the 1984 National Championship team. So it should be an excellent evening as well. Martin Paul, our regular color commentator, is, quote, wired for sound tonight. He'll be playing as well as providing color commentary from the court for a change. And speaking of change, Dave West makes a change from his regular spot on the Centennial Colts bench as head coach to color commentator. And he's downstairs with Randy Andrechu, who will provide the play-by-play. So for their thoughts, let's go downstairs.
Thank you, Glenn. Good evening, everyone. Did we get all those changes? I see you're a former coach, now going to do this. Marty's on the floor. Nice to have you along as we get set for another season of Centennial basketball. And, Coach, is it going to be easy sitting in the chair and watching the guys from a distance, not being able to advise?
Well, the assistant coach I have, Courtney Bailey, is a super person, a super coach, and I don't think I'm going to have to worry too much about that.
Let's talk about the two teams involved here. Of course, your Centennial Colts off to a bit of a rough start. Had some luck in tournament play, not so much in league play. What's been the story? Bring us up to speed so far this year.
Well, we have 12 freshmen on our team, and really that's the end of the story. It takes, in this league, it takes players who have been around for a period of time. In other words, guys who've played for 1 or 2 or 3 years before you finally start to gel. Plus, you need good players, and it's going to take us like another month before we really come up to par, I think.
Let's talk about the guys on the other side of this. The old guys, with a couple of oxygen tanks, I think, on the bench. What do you expect from them tonight? Can some of these guys still take the rock to the rack? Are they going to be able to play?
Absolutely. I've coached a few of them in the last couple of years, and I know they're ready to play. They want to beat the old team. There's no question about that. And, of course, you know that Centennial College has a great tradition of winning basketball, and some of the players out here are from the national championship team from about 1984. So, yeah, they're ready to play, and they're big, and they're strong, and they're 28, 29 years old, and I have players here that are 19, 20, and that makes an awful lot of difference. So we're looking for a physical game. We're looking for a game we're taking very seriously. We're looking for a game that's going to get us back in the hunt next week.
All right, it's experience against the young pups. See what happens in a few minutes. Let's go back upstairs now to the G-Man. Glenn? Well, we're not going to go upstairs to Glenn, as it turns out. We're going to stick right with us as the teams are getting set. As we see a couple of long tosses from the warm-up side. Those will be the alumni group in the orange jerseys with the black numbers. Our officials this evening will be Chris Gower and Wayne Bailey. And things just getting set to get underway. Assistant coach Courtney Bailey has the Centennial Colts firmly in his grasp tonight as the coach sits in with us. And we see Chris Gower getting set in the makeshift officials' uniforms as the teams break their huddle. The Colts varsity squad will be in their white with gray and burgundy numerals, burgundy and white shorts. And the alumni in whatever shorts they happen to have in the old gym bag, along with the orange jerseys with blue numerals. And interesting to see just how many of those alumni uniforms are getting a little bit tight on some of these guys.
Well, don't let appearances fool you there, Randy, because I suspect a lot of these players are still in really good shape. And I'll tell you another thing, they take this game very seriously.
Starting on the floor for the varsity, number 3, Rafer Perry, 13, Bert Hill, 24, Mark Maynard. Who else is in your start? 12, Dwight Donald, and help me out, coaches. 1, shielded body. 14, Kim Henry.
And Wayne Rowe.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The tip will be between 10, Wayne Rowe, and 24 of the alumni, Michael Francis. And we are underway with the 1993 alumni versus varsity game. And early on, the alumni with a long pass. And with the easy deuce is number 12, Neil Terrell.
That's been one of our problems is transition defense, and once again we gave up the easy basket early. That's been happening to us a lot.
Rafer Perry wearing number 3, starting at point guard for the Colts, dishing off to the near side. Shot was put up by Wayne Rowe and missed, and we have a turnover now with the Colts in charge. Rafer Perry, 5'9" point guard out of Scarborough, seeing the open man on the wing. Mark Maynard taking it to the hoop. It's good, and we are tied at 2 early on. The Alumni versus the Varsity. Alumni working the ball down low, and a foul called, but the whistle not blown. Foul, I believe, is going to be on number 3, Rafer Perry.
Rafer's still trying to figure out how he got that foul.
I'm trying to figure out how they're going to call the game if Wayne Bailey doesn't have a whistle. 3-point shot up and missed. Alumni controlling. Neil Terrell dishing inside. Nice defensive hustle by Dwight Donald. And we're going to get a turnover now, and the Varsity will take control.
One of the problems we've got 2 really big problems. One is defensive rebound, and the other is our man-to-man defense. And already in the game you can see it. Hopefully as the game goes on, we improve, and as the season goes on, we improve in those areas. One thing we're working very hard on, as you'll see here, is running a controlled half-court offense, and that's what's happening out here right now.
24 is Mark Maynard.
We're running a play called X. Ball's in the high post there to Bert Hill, and then it's swung to the weak side. Dwight Donald is a very good outside shooter, as you see there. That's a 3-pointer.
Donald indeed, good with the tray, and by all means, feel free to diagram these verbally while the play is going on.
We're putting a zone press in there, and actually the Alumni are a little confused by that zone press, and they turn the ball over.
Rafer Perry up top, swinging it down low. Mark Maynard working the ball inside, and I think that's a whistle. 13, orange. Lloyd Wilson of the Alumni picking up the foul. Substitution in for Centennial, wearing 22.
Alex Gymnopoulos.
Alex Gymnopoulos.
Yeah, he's from Victoria Park Panthers, first-year player, freshman, coming along. This is a level up from high school. This takes about a half a year to get familiar with. The man on the line is Rafer Perry. He's really our prize recruit. He's probably the best point guard in Scarborough from Lamoureux Collegiate, and he's played very well for us. He's averaging about 16 points a game. And basically, we've got about 3 players that are really college-level players right now. We need about 8, but we're on our way to recruiting those players. This is a zone trap that we have on here now, and we're causing them all kinds of problems. It's going to be a 10-second violation here very shortly. Oh, we should have had that. Just missed.
You do get the turnover shortly, but ball out of bounds. Rafer Perry not able to hang on to it, but the press certainly worked there.
It did. It's a 1-2-1-1 press, and we try and put a double team on the first pass. However, there's the problem we have is on our defensive board. Luckily, that wasn't finished. This is X. This is the X we run. It's a 1-2-2 offense. Rafer cleared. He's a great shooter.
Perry misses. Rebound controlled by the Colts.
Now, see, we're pretty disciplined, you see, and this is the way we have to play this year until we get straightened around with our defense. We've got to hang on to the ball a little longer. There's a high-low thing.
Bert Hill losing control. Picked off by Mike Brown. Brown dishing over to Neil Terrell.
Here's 3-on-2. See what
happens
happens
well. Perry stops and skids. Open shot taken and missed. Kim Henry off the miss, and now the Alumni trying to run the floor.
Whoa, what's up? What's going on with the audio here, guys? You're killing us. It's really loud. We got the mic turned on for Martin. Why? We have Martin. Glenn is in program. You have Glenn in program. Glenn is in program. Glenn is in program.
Colts now bringing the ball back, and again another turnover. And just as you spoke about the discipline they showed a couple of times down the floor, sloppy play there. Alumni now with the ball and control. Into the center, and again, defensive hand gets in the way. And
Anthony Chapman, he used to play point guard for us last year. He's from Riverdale Collegiate. He's a great quick player.
Rafer Perry along the near side. Donald then dishing off to Wayne Rowe. Rowe goes to the hoop. Can't get it to fall. And now the Alumni break back once again.
Wayne Rowe's a good story. He's from a winning program, too. He's from Bathurst Heights Collegiate. And Bathurst, of course, has a extremely good reputation in basketball in Metro Toronto. He's one of our standout players.
The varsity leading the Alumni 6-2. Familiar face wearing 23. Martin Paul, usually in the coach's chair here, will get a chance to see if he can play. The Alumni now with control. Neil Terrell has it taken away.
That's Dwight Donald.
Donald goes in with the easy layup, 8-2 for the varsity, and a good heads-up defense by Dwight Donald.
This zone press is bothering the Alumni. Mike Brown's a scary player. 22. He's that wide-bodied Charles Barkley type. There he goes, and he's like very smooth. Besides, for a man his size, he can take the ball to the basket very well. And if he misses his first shot, he can offensively rebound. So he's a scary prospect. With his back to the basket, he's almost impossible to handle.
Could sell advertising on that back. Brown, the 1989-90 Centennial Male Athlete of the Year. OCAA scoring leader and an all-star in his time here. Looks like he is one of the players who still can play the game. Open shot taken by the varsities, number 22. Alex Gymnopoulos missing his first shot. And the Alumni inbound.
Another steal by Dwight.
Dwight Donald playing well defensively.
Here's Rafer to Wayne Rowe. He's got to make that.
Rowe comes up with the air ball, but Perry alertly under the basket to gain control. Swinging it over now, open man, nice fake. To the basket it goes.
There.
Kim Henry with the nice move, but Henry there to follow up. Or Wayne Rowe, rather, following up the Kim Henry miss. Terrell got a lane to the basket, goes and drives, ticks it up on over the lip. The Alumni now trailing 10-6. 14 and a half minutes remaining in the first half. If you're just joining us, Randy Andrechu along with Dave West and Glenn Sutherland. Glad to have you along as the Centennial Colts varsity in the white jerseys with gray and burgundy trim taking on the Centennial Colts Alumni in the orange jerseys with blue numerals and, again, whatever shorts they happen to have handy in the gym bag. Long shot taken from three-point range. That put up by 14. Roy Bailey. Bailey misses, and there'll be substitutions in now for the Alumni.
Greg Tennant, number 3, who used to play here at Centennial, has come in.
Funny thing about all the Alumni, they played here at one time or another.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah, I guess I don't have to repeat that, do I? See, these are the guys I'm familiar with in the last 3 years that I've coached here.
Drive to the hoop, nicely done. And that's Rafer Perry using the left hand.
We really think highly of Rafer, and he's going to be a real asset for us in the future. He's a leader. He's a very strong defensive player. Offensively, he shoots the three really well. And Kim Henry, who just got that defensive rebound, is a super player. He's from Pickering, and they have a great tradition of basketball, high school basketball, too.
Henry rebounding the three-point miss by Martin Paul. The broadcaster with the bricks, I think he might be known as tonight. But we'll give Marty a few more shots till he gets into the flow. The Alumni conserving oxygen, playing a zone. Shot put up, and the rebound will be controlled by the Alumni. They certainly got a height advantage in this game. Martin Paul. Little dish. Turnover.
Turnover. We'll have to mark that up on the stat sheet.
Turnover for Martin Paul, and he's grinning knowing we are riding this one out as much as we can. He'll be checking Rafer Perry. Just correct myself, the Alumni wasn't playing zone last time. It's just a very loose man-to-man sitting back. And a turnover, sloppy play. The Alumni with control. Mike Brown running the floor. Brown looking to drive, using the nice
Very
little
tough,
elbow push-off.
Very tough, yeah.
And Brown gets the deuce, and if you're defending number 10 there, Wayne Rowe on the defense, you might not want to stay in Mr. Brown's way too long.
Or else go get yourself a bag of ice.
Rafer Perry surveying the court, swinging it over to Kim Henry. Henry looking for the nice feed in the middle, gets it there. Left-handed layup by Dwight Donald, misses.
I think it was fouled.
2-on-1 now for the Alumni. Oh my, the right-hand move only by Greg Tennant.
Yeah. Crossover. Nice play.
12-8 is our score. The Alumni have moved to within 4. 12 minutes left in the first half. Nice move out of trouble. Pass inside, working the baseline and fouled. A terrific play as Alex Gymnopoulos converts and will go to the line. And Coach, saw you clapping your hands and coaching from the bench here.
Well, I think we have really quick guards. We have Rafer Perry, we've got Kim Henry, we got Dwight Donald, and they, once they penetrate, beat their man, they can dish the ball. It's just a question whether Wayne Rowe and Alex can convert. And Alex Gymnopoulos converted on that one.
The voice you hear, the disjointed voice, from the wireless microphone of Mr. Martin Paul.
I got wing.
As we have him turned up. Not sure how much he's got to say. Don't know if he has the
It's
oxygen to speak.
It's you.
That's you. That's right. You take the guy. I'm not going to bother running.
I think that's what it was.
Yep, help.
Varsity with control. Long shot put up by Perry. Can't get it.
Chris Edwards with the ball.
Roy Bailey will be checking in with Martin periodically throughout the game. Martin with the dish off. And again, the Alumni controlling up top. Gerald Herbert is wearing 21. Pass doesn't find 3, Greg Tennant. And it's another turnover for the Alumni. The Varsity with control, and we'll have a substitution checking in. Peter Lorifus and Rafer Perry will have a seat. The Alumni, of course, going to be making changes fast and furiously. Martin Paul sitting down, getting a well-deserved breather. Lorifus in now at the point. Henry back to help out. Pass inside. Defensive player backed off. Rowe took the open shot, wasn't able to convert. And now the Alumni running the floor 2-on-2. Dish to the open man and right through the hands of Roy Bailey.
That's embarrassing.
Another, you're going to get on the Alumni, are you? Another turnover for the Alum and the Colts.
Vasco Calhoun checking Peter Lorifus, another former point guard. 2 point guards on each other.
Battle of number 4's double team attempt. Gerald Herbert looking to double up on Lorifus.
Nice running. Jumper by Peter Lorifus.
And Lorifus, as you mentioned, hits the runner, giving the Varsity a 9-point lead as we approach the midway point of this first half. Nice play there, and Rowe taking it to the hoop. He gets fouled and will go to the line to shoot a pair.
We have the quickness for the penetrating dribble and the feed off. It's just a question of whether people like Wayne Rowe that's on the line now, or Bert Hill, or some of our big forwards can convert, because our little guys, our 1, 2, and 3 men are quite capable of getting through traffic and beating their man, but it's just a question of them hitting the open man converting.
What do you do as a coach in practice for that? You've got some guys who are not necessarily big men, but playing down low in big men position. Are you doing a lot of close to the basket work with them?
We are. We do a lot of what are called stations, and we work on their individual moves down low. And it's tough because we're talking about big men on our team. We're talking about guys 6'2", 6'3", and in this league, like, we're talking about guys that are playing 6'7", 6'6". So we do have a height problem for the year. We're going to solve that hopefully with recruiting next year. But right now we're living with these guys, and they're trying very hard, and they're doing not a bad job.
1 of 2 at the line for Rowe, and a foul on the floor. And since we've told you we've got him wired for sound, Martin Paul, can you hear me?
We got him right where we want him, guys. Well, we're down 8 points right now. I'd say we got him right where we want him. It's a false sense of security. And we're going to kill him in the second half.
You know, Martin has a problem not only about basketball, but addition, too. Like, he's down 10. Maybe he could probably get in the game a little bit.
We'll send a courier pigeon over there letting him know he's got to work on the math.
See, there's one of the problems. I just told you, like, our point guard dished the ball correctly perfectly to Brent Kitson, and he fumbled the ball out of bounds. And that's part of our problem. Our big guys finishing.
The Alumni bringing the ball up. Vasco Calhal being checked closely by Lorifus. Open man at the top. Doesn't find the ball. They try to work it inside. And the garbage is picked up inside. Number 24, first look at him, Michael Francis, resplendent in the eyewear.
And that's exactly what it is. That's garbage. And a lot of times we commit turnovers in our backcourt, and that's what it ends up happening. Another good dish. He's right in position to shoot the ball, and he brings the ball back outside.
Lorifus had a clear lane to shoot. Decided to dish, and then...
That's Barrington's shot there. There's Wayne Rowe. We've got somebody in the clear. This is Kim Henry. Great player.
Henry all alone. Will he draw the foul? No, he'll miss the layup in the follow-up, though. And the foul is called. And again, the varsity will go to the line. Brent Kitson. Will shoot the pair.
Brent's a young player. He's coming along. Works very hard in practice. He's 6'6", and I'm sure like next year he's going to be a player.
Good rotation on the free throw. Didn't find the mark.
Glad Mike Brown's playing where he is, outside.
Good heads-up defense by Lorifus, cutting off the pass for Anthony Chapman. Off the hands of Lorifus, and the Alumni will inbound. Chapman off to Mike Brown. Brown going down low. Nice defense there by Kitson. They're going to call him for bodying, though. But Michael Francis with the shot. Kitson was right there. They call him with the hip first.
It was a reject. It was a good rejection.
Francis will go to the line and shoot a pair.
Boy, if they put Francis and Mike Brown down
low.
I think
thinking the same thing.
I guess their girlfriends and wives or something are here. They want to see them handle the ball outside.
The Alumni game is always good for some styling points. You know that. Kitson falling on the ball will get a jump out of it. And again, under your own basket defensively, that's a smart thing to do.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. We run a zone here now on the inbounds play.
Hesitation on the shot from Chapman. Went up. Lorifus got out to him.
Yeah.
Had to change the shot and decided to pass. Good hustling defense I've seen so far.
That's it, yeah. And actually playing within themselves, you know, not doing something that they can't do. There's another three with a hand right in the face. It's a real force, which is fine.
Mike Brown nowhere close with that three-point attempt. And we'll have a substitution in for the Alumni. Neil Terrell checking back in. Terrell, an interesting story. If you ever listen to the opening of the show that we have kept for these last 20 years, I guess, Neil Terrell's name is predominantly mentioned by those absolute maniac announcers who were on the front end as Centennial celebrated one of their bigger wins at the buzzer. Shane Dilling and Stephen William Coolius III were the men who are immortalized on that tape. And next time you watch one of the Centennial Colts games of the week, be sure to listen. You'll hear Terrell and then someone else, was it Brown or somebody, putting the shot up at the end, and it's good, it's going to count. And, well, you know the rest.
The countdown.
Yeah,
the countdown.
That's
Super.
right. We had a human clock on there as well. Shane Dilling, I believe, providing the Sesame Street counting lesson. And the basket will count.
It's a real
and the
mismatch
foul.
in there.
The big man, Mike Brown, inside.
Poor Wayne Rowe got buried there.
Rowe picks up the foul for the hack. Brown at the line to complete the three-pointer. Another substitution in, wearing number 13, Lloyd Wilson, and 15, Martin Barrington checking out. Or 13, rather, Garvin Antoine checking in.
Kitson with the rebound. That's encouraging.
The varsity bringing the ball up. It's Peter Lorifus. Swinging it. Mark Maynard trying to go inside. Forced the pass. Couldn't get it inside to Rowe. And now the Alumni with an opportunity to bring it within 3 points. can bring it within a deuce on a three-pointer. Nice move and dish. Nice rejection from Kitson inside. Yeah. Good defensive help as Kitson comes over. And a fourth opportunity for Mike Brown.
Going in, looking to score about 5 or 6 3-pointers right now, so I'll pull us back. Sub.
As we cut away quickly to the braggadocious one, Martin Paul.
Boy.
Calling the shots.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly has confidence, doesn't he? For got to walk the talk, talk the walk.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a gentleman who, couldn't get a 10-point spread straight mathematically?
Yeah, now he's back out there, and let's see what he can do. He hasn't had exactly the crowd on his feet yet.
Mike Brown with the free throw that rattles around, catches more iron than a jar of one-a-day, but it gets to fall. His second of 2 coming up now. Converting, and it's now a 3-point lead for the varsity over the Alumni, and you heard it called. Martin Paul, number 23,
this is an interesting
called
matchup.
6 shots. 6 3-pointers, he said he can. We'll see if he can get 6 shots off. Poor pass along the wing, controlled by Terrell. Terrell down, nice play by the Colts to be there to pick up the ball. Kim Henry with the jumper, good elevation, and going to the bank for a 2-point deposit. That's a tough shot for Henry to make, but he gets it to fall. They re-stretch the lead to 5, and now the Alumni's Neil Terrell hits from the paint. The basket counts. He's hacked in the act. Will go to the line and shoot for 3, and some good end-to-end action.
Well, I'll tell you, Peter Lorfus looked like he was in position there to draw the charge, but Neil Terrell did well to get over him. See if his feet are planted here. I think so. I think that's a charge.
Could very well have been called either way. Did not get the call, unfortunately, for the varsity. And the ball is out of bounds off the Alumni hands. The Colts will inbound as we have another substitution coming in. Back into the game, 12, Dwight Donald. Peter Lorifus coming out now. Will Dwight go to the point?
Yeah, he'll play point.
There is the aforementioned Donald.
He's from Emory Collegiate out in the West End. He's a good, quick player.
3-point game. Pass inside, not controlled. And hacking from behind will be the call. Alex Gymnopoulos picking up the foul.
There's a young mistake, right? Like Mark Maynard makes one mistake by throwing a lazy pass into the post. That's bad enough, and then comes back and hacks and fouls. Now he recovered there.
Long pass attempted by the Alumni, doesn't work. Wide open now, nice dish down low. Little spin move, getting his defender in the air. Didn't go up the first time, had him in the air. Came back down, but nonetheless drew the foul. Would you like to see Dwight, the first time he gets his defender, go right up?
See, there's a little inexperience, too. We come down the court 3-on-2, and the next thing you know, we're struggling to struggle to get a basket. We should have had an easy layup there. It's all experience.
Donald, good on the first of 2.
This is Kim Henry, and he's a super player.
Correction, 14, my apologies. Kim Henry on the line.
Now we're putting a zone press on here again. It looks like Martin Paul. Oh.
And they will give the ball to the Alumni. There you see Martin Paul, in case you missed it a few moments ago. Wireless microphone has called 6 3-pointers.
Go, Dwight.
And the coach egging on Dwight Donald. Boy, that young man can get up in the air.
But you see what happens there? See what happened? He's the point guard. He's at the back of the zone press. Another, freshman error. Nobody covered up for him. Kim Henry or Mark Maynard should have covered up on that. And what does it end up? It ends up one basket, a trade-off.
Neil Terrell with the easy lay-in for the Alumni. Pass inside. And a traveling call.
Tell me first.
Just as Martin Paul was getting in there. There you hear. Listen to the panting. We don't have a dog on a court microphone. That is Martin sucking back the oxygen quicker and quicker as the game goes on. Just having a terrible time with the breathing. Donald again goes high. perhaps could have went to the right hand to the basket, instead dished off. Turnover, Martin Paul controlling. And now the Alumni have the ball. 22 is Mike Brown, losing control.
Seems when Martin gets the ball, our defense raises up. He's trying a big
there
three.
He is.
He's trying a big three.
0 for 2 from the floor tonight. 0 for 1 since he called the 6 trays that he would hit.
Still trying to find his range, I guess.
I think the only trays Paul ever got a hold of, I think, were in the cafeteria here at Centennial. Open shot, jumper, in and out. Good hustle on the offensive boards.
Now see, we've got a new clock, but look at where we're going to take this ball. We're going to force one up.
Rainbow put up by Gymnopoulos.
Then
not
we don't
even close.
finish. Then we don't finish.
And there's the
then
finish there.
Finish.
Alex Gymnopoulos on the third chance. Second for him.
This is his own press here. This should be tough. That's good. This will be good. They'll have a tough time getting out of this.
They clear.
Uh-oh. Now
Alumni looking to go down low with Mike Brown. Elbows his defender out of the way. Gets the second chance. Does keep it alive, and in fact picks up his own board.
And there it looks like a bowling alley, doesn't it? There's
what do you
pins
do?
Following.
Just what do you do? Mike Brown now with 8 points on the game, leading all scores, as the Alumni have it within 5. Loose ball controlled again by Brown. This might be time for a solo effort. Instead, he dishes to Martin Paul.
I think Martin should have had that.
A young Martin Paul gets there with ease. The old version, no. And it's a turnover. And Martin going to have a seat. Marty, come on over for a second here, young fella. Martin Paul joining us here briefly. Come on here, have a seat. Now, as the play goes on, Marty, you called 6 trays. You took 1, missed.
I was fouled. I don't know if you guys saw that. I got hacked.
You're breathing awfully heavily.
I don't know what these officials are looking at out here, but I got hacked.
You are sweating, young man. What happened to the cardio?
Oh, the cardio has gone long. I didn't have it when I played, so. I don't know, Coach. You saw that. I was fouled, for sure.
Well, I just told Randy here that it seems that my team wants to pick up their defense the minute you pick up the ball. You've been trash talking out there because they seem to want to play.
Yeah, well, no one's stolen from me yet. Well, I should. I'll leave the point guard duties to other people.
Wisely so. Go to the bench and grab yourself a rest, and the oxygen tank is warmed up for you. Foul on the floor. Greg Tennant picking up the foul for the Alumni. Our score is 28-21. The varsity Colts leading the Alumni. Randy Andrechu along with Dave West, Glenn Sutherland preparing for the halftime festivities. I don't know if he's going to be able to talk to any of the Alumni. They may not be breathing by then.
Wow.
We'll have to get one of the varsity squad up there. Turnover now. The varsity back on defense, and we're going to get a suitcase violation on Greg Tennant as he took the extra step, complaining, what? Me travel? Did they lose perspective a little while after they've been out of the game for a bit?
Well, yeah, they lose a step, but everything's the referee's fault.
That's what we heard Paul complaining about, too, wasn't it, now that we think about it?
I got fouled.
Up top.
Here's a play we run called 4. We put isolate. We're going to isolate Dwight on 12, see if he can dish the ball. Now Kim, we're isolating him on 21.
Donald gets by his man.
See the dish? The dish is right there. There's a fumble.
Gymnopoulos, off-balance shot, rebound taken there by Kim Henry. Had a direct lane to the hoop, went up with it, didn't get enough steam on the ball, and it results in a turnover. And don't pull your hair out. We got another.
I know we're so close. You know, like we have the offensive rebound, and the word is in basketball is finishing. You either get the foul or the layup, and many times we're inside and we don't get that. And that's just the freshman mistake. Now here's a 2-on-1.
Super defense by Dwight Donald, taking the rack to the rack. And Donald not only showing the leaping on defense.
Good. Now he gets back on D. Now you can't fault him from hustle there. All right. Remember the last time he took the ball to the basket, he made the layup, and it wasn't back on defense. At least he learned from that. And he was back on D. Unfortunately, it was a 10-second violation. But that's hustle. I mean, you can't criticize something like that.
Terrific leaping ability defensively, and then taking the ball to the hole. I mean, that was just
very good.
The young man can elevate.
There's Terrell. Oh, over the back.
Miss and the follow-up there by Tennant. And it is off Tennant's hands.
Greg's very deceptive. He's got great legs. He gets up very high, and he holds the ball high over his head.
Checking back in now for the Alumni, 10, Chris Edwards.
Chris Edwards
just got here, it looks like.
He played for us last year. He's never seen a shot he didn't like.
And who's that wearing number 20? Since the numbers have been changed.
That's Lloyd Wilson.
That is Lloyd Wilson.
And he's from West Hill.
So Lloyd goes
played
from
2 years ago.
Lloyd goes from 13 to 20 in the makeshift lineup. You don't want to see what my score page looks like right now.
The foul on Chris Edwards, little overly aggressive. And we're in bonus now.
Both teams, in fact, are in the bonus. Chris Edwards with the fashion statement, extra baggy green shorts on.
Boy, they love those shorts, don't they?
Let's see, on the Alumni, we've got a black short, 2 black shorts, 2 gray, one sort of a brownish, taupish kind of deal, and a green.
You know, the rule is this year, you know, that they have to have their shirts tucked in. Because it was getting to be so sloppy, you know, the long shorts, etc. So I thought that was a good rule.
Yeah, the diaper look was in vogue last year, certainly. The baggy shorts and the shirt hanging out. And,
yeah, 2 pairs of shorts, remember? One short has to be a little bit lower than the inside pair. That's really important.
And the free throw made by Dwight Donald.
There's his own press, but
not in position quick enough?
No. Oh, wow.
Off balance shot taken by the Alumni, and now fast break, open layup.
Now let's see if we can put this zone press on here properly.
Kim Henry finishing and forcing the turnover with the press.
The Alumni doesn't like that.
34-21, a 13-point edge. The varsity squad up now with coming up to a minute left in the first half. Top.
There's a 3 right there.
Dwight Donald doesn't take it. Dishing off instead, left-hander right for Perry. Gets it to rattle around and fall.
You give him time like that, that's a 3.
And Martin
Seabird Hill there not getting back. Not fast enough. Whoa, they mugged him down there, didn't they?
Foul called. Just going to mention, if Martin Paul's watching the game, which I don't know whether he's got his head between his legs in the airport crash position trying to get some help into the lungs or not, but he should be watching Mr. Perry with the 3-pointer. Going to the line now will be Chris Edwards, shooting a deuce with 49 seconds remaining, and the varsity has opened up a 16-point lead on the Alumni. In fact, it wasn't a shooting foul, it was a bonus situation, and the easy rebound there put up and in by Greg Tennant, as we see Martin Paul getting ready to either check in or check out, and check out in a big way. Perry wisely holding the ball up top. Henry, one-on-one move, had a chance to take it to the hoop. Looks like he lost the ball off his knee, and a turnover ensues. The Alumni will have control. 23 seconds left. Will they play for a last shot, or do they think they can get 3 or 4 in here?
So why they didn't sub Martin in for that 3?
That's right.
In the last 23 seconds. Lloyd Wilson's a quick player.
Right to the hoop, and Wilson converts with ease. And now the varsity will try to take the last shot as we wind down. 5 seconds remaining. Perry, he gets up in the air on that jump shot as well. Can't get it to go, and a bad foul in the closing few seconds. That's going to put the Alumni on the line with the hack, Bert Hill.
Well, we're talking about freshman mistakes, but there's one that could cost you a game.
Hate to bring it up, but there's just 1 second left on the clock.
Uh-oh.
You got the tape.
Yeah,
this may be
we'll run that forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards.
I was going to say this might be the centerpiece of a practice or two in the next few days. On the line, Lloyd Wilson in the bonus. Misses the first. Rebound put up by Tennant. Nicely done.
Unbelievable. Like, I mean, you take that last play even. Somebody wasn't boxing off for the shooter. So these are errors. Like, you would think that sometimes the coaches didn't tell them to do that sort of thing, but...
You're here to say
I'm giving my side here now.
The coach has spoken. Our score at the half, the varsity Colts 37, the Alumni 25. Stay with us. The G-Man, Glenn Sutherland, will be back with all our halftime goings on, and we'll see if Martin Paul is still alive. Stay with us. You're watching the Centennial Colts Game of the Week on Trillium Community 10.
To Impact Thursday, December 16th at 9 p.m. when our focus will be crime, justice, and community safety. How safe are you, and how can we make our communities safer? Host Steve Gilchrist leads the discussion along with representation from Metro Police, the Bar Association, victims advocates, and members of a provincial conservative task force on safety. Tune in and phone in. Impact Thursday, December 16th at 9 p.m.
Hi, I'm Captain John.
And I'm Commander Bob.
And we're the hosts of 10 Forward. We'd like to remind you to watch us here on Cable 10 in Scarborough and Pickering. Our next show is
December 17th.
So join us here on 10 Forward.
Right now things are pretty tough. I really don't know whether I'm going to be working 6 months down the road or not. It's a fairly uncertain situation.
I have to rely on myself. These days you can't expect the job to be just sitting there waiting for you.
Retraining? It's different. It's not easy to all of a sudden change directions, but I'm getting there.
Hi, I'm Bruce Coburn. Here in Canada, many people are facing uncertain futures. We are learning to adapt to change and to become more resourceful, qualities that people in developing countries have relied on for years. Now, more than ever, let's understand that we're in this world together. Please support USC Canada's training programs in developing countries. That's USC Canada, 56 Spark Street, Ottawa.
Dell Gym here on the Progress campus of Centennial College. The Colts 1993-94 version lead the Alumni 37-25, but our halftime guest Neil Terrell assures us that there's a comeback in the making. Just a matter of time. Neil played here from 1986 to 1989, and I think one of your most memorable moments was in your final season. You want to tell us about that?
Well, our team were struggling throughout the year, as far as I know, as much as these guys are. But then we ended up making it to the Final Four in the OCAAs, and we ended up winning the silver medal. We lost to the Humber Hawks, and they went on to win the Nationals that year. So it was a tough loss.
Yeah. So I guess it's even though you did lose, I guess it was a little comforting in knowing that you lost to the national champs.
Yes, it was.
As far as individual accomplishments, what would you say may be your one or two most memorable moments?
Well, we played in a few tournaments in Hamilton, the Mohawk Classic, and I got an All-Star nomination for that a few years in a row, actually. And but my most memorable moment is winning the silver medal, maybe the crowning achievement of this career as an alumni.
And moving about, I hate to say it, but 5 years forward. I know maybe you don't want to hear that, but when you look at the calendar, it is 5 years since then. But a little talk about tonight's game. You had some great moments on this floor, but it's a little rough tonight. Maybe one of the rougher games you've had to play here.
Age is catching up. Age is catching up to me, definitely. As long as with a lot of the other guys, age is definitely a factor here.
Now, I'm sure you and the other guys, strenuous fitness programs, you're still continuing and so forth.
Yeah, somewhat. Strenuous, yes.
And of course, it's always nice to see the grads go on. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing besides playing basketball once a week?
I'm working in my field. I took a general management course here, and now I'm working in my field, sort of in my field. But a career job. So as far as career jobs go.
Okay, well, we wish you the best in your career as well, and the best at the present tonight. Maybe you and Martin Paul and the rest of the boys will be able to overcome that 12-point deficit.
Okay.
Neil Terrell has been our guest, a player here from 86 to 89 for Colts basketball. He and the Alumni hope to overcome their 12-point deficit in the second half. That's coming up as the Alumni are down 37-25. Stay tuned. Second half is coming up.
I'm Captain John.
And I'm Commander Bob.
And we're the hosts of 10 Forward. We'd like to remind you to watch us here on Cable 10 in Scarborough and Pickering. Our next show is
December 17th.
So join us here on 10 Forward.
At this time of year, while you're thinking about what to get for that person who has almost everything, perhaps you could also give some thought about what you can give to the person who has almost nothing. You can give a child in need a solid meal each day, clothing, medical care, schooling, and a start on a better life. You won't just be giving a child a present. You'll be giving them a future. This Christmas, through Christian Children's Fund of Canada, you can reach out to a needy child in a very special way. Please, call this toll-free number and find out how you can sponsor a child. Remember, it's just one child at a time.
Tune in to Impact Thursday, December 16th at 9 p.m. when our focus will be crime, justice, and community safety. How safe are you, and how can we make our communities safer? Host Steve Gilchrist leads the discussion along with representation from Metro Police, the Bar Association, victims advocates, and members of a provincial conservative task force on safety. Tune in and phone in. Impact Thursday, December 16th at 9 p.m.
Welcome back. We are getting set for the second half of action. Running down the leading scorers in the first. Dwight Donald, nice sign for you, Coach. The youngster leading the way with 11. Wayne Rowe and Rayford Perry, 6 each. Alex Gymnopoulos with 5. Oh, man, here they go. Your kids are styling. That's not a good sign. For the Alumni, Mike Brown leads the way with 8 points. Also 7 rebounds. A couple of steals for the big guy in the first half as well. Greg Tennant and Neil Terrell with 4 points each for the Colts. Martin Paul, let me quickly check his numbers. Martin Paul, number 23, went to the line once and missed. Is that the marking? So he's got 0. Martin Paul, 0 points. And
I can't believe
it.
I thought I saw him. No?
No, it wasn't him. Might have been in his personal play-by-play recollection of the half, but nothing through the twine for Marty. And
here's a scary thought now. Mike Brown has decided that he's going to go inside.
Yeah, that is a scary thought, as you mentioned. Mike Brown, certainly the biggest man on the court. Still in terrific shape, too. I mean, there doesn't look like there's any extra poundage on him. The varsity with the ball, shot put up, and oh, yeah, that would be a foul.
That's Pascal Calhoun jumping into Dwight Donald.
Dwight Donald, as we mentioned, leading all scorers with 11, and most particularly impressive was his leaping ability. This kid can get up.
This is encouraging. He's probably been averaging about 9 or 10 points a game, but if we can push him up to 20, that's going to help an awful lot. Takes a lot of pressure off Rayford Perry, Kim Henry, our other outside players, Mark Maynard.
The second of 2. He is short. A rebound controlled, wide open, taking it to the hoop for the uncontested layup. 12, Neil Terrell with his 6th point of the match. Rayford Perry looking to control. Varsity comes out of it.
See, we're out of control here now. This is when we get ourselves in trouble.
Patiently, though, swung it back up top to Rafer Perry.
That's a good sign.
Perry being checked by Calhoun. Along the far side, might have stepped out of bounds, didn't get the call. And the Varsity will
6 seconds
regain
on the
possession.
clock.
You have a play called here?
Yeah, we do. There it is.
Hacking foul called.
Assistant coach Courtney Bailey is telling Dwight to concentrate on these 2 shots. One of the problems that we have with this team right now is concentration. Concentration in terms of where they're going to be after this ball is shot, making the back end of bonus attempts. It's thinking. It's mental a lot of this game, and it's just a lot of yelling and screaming and reminding them. That's Lloyd Wilson coming in for Vasco. Lloyd Wilson's a former high school player from West Hill Collegiate. A lot of these players are from Scarborough high schools, and that's encouraging for us in terms of recruiting. We want to get some Scarborough players here. There's our zone press working a little bit.
And Perry
once
coming
again,
up
we're
with
disciplined
the steal.
enough. Yeah, we're disciplined enough to.
Perry looking for a foul on the shot, doesn't get it. And instead, foul will be picked up by Bert Hill. Hill, the young man who picked up that foul with 1 second left in the half. Not that I need to remind you about that.
Bert's going to be a good player. He's into weightlifting, weight training. He's very tough.
Big boy.
He just got out-muscled there, though.
Roy Bailey. Correction, that's number 13, Garvin Antoine with that hoop for the Alumni as they bring it to within 10. Just a couple of minutes into the second half here. The Varsity Colts leading the Alumni double-digit lead. Perry now looking to drive. Nice
Great
dish. An offensive charging will be called.
I'm not sure about that call either.
I don't think Rafer's sure about it either.
No, it looked like he was moving a little bit.
You want to get up and protest?
Yeah, I don't know. Can we yell from here?
Just make sure you put the little microphone well above so we don't hear. Mike Brown up top. You like to see him away from the basket, but you don't want to see him coming close. Nice dish down low. Lloyd Wilson not able to hold on to it.
Yeah, there's a defensive lapse there by Dwight Donnelly. Took his eye off his man.
And for a big man, Mike Brown can handle the ball at the top of the key.
Looks like the Alumni team is taking a timeout.
It would be an oxygen timeout in this case.
We have to. Okay, we have to play Durham next week on Wednesday, and then we play St. Lawrence here on Saturday. And we'd like to end up on a winning note before we get into the break, before they write their examinations. Our coach is talking to them. He's trying to encourage them in terms of their defense. Their defense is really, it hasn't been great. Here. What's Martin doing there? He's closing.
Okay, we're open. Martin, please do not stop Martin back in the head. 1, 2, 3.
I think it was something like stay out of the way, Martin. I didn't hear what he said.
Do they even recognize him? That's the question. What are you doing here? Who are you? Grab us some water and towels. That may be his lone performance of the night. Getting the fresh towels distributed in the shower after the game. Has yet to reach the score sheet, we will remind you. Of course, all in good fun, our colleague Martin Paul, usually working as an analyst for these games, in uniform, sort of, for the Alumni tonight. And no, he has not dented the score sheet. Nice tip on the follow there. And there's a nice sign from Wayne Rowe getting up with the one-handed tip off the bank.
We're playing zone here right now. So 1-2-2 zone. That's the weakness there, the weak side.
Pass over top of the zone. Lloyd Wilson went up, decided otherwise. Mike Brown with the leaner, can't get it to fall. Rebound inside by Garvin Antoine. And good defense, you're going to get a jump ball out of it. Substituting in for the first time for the Alumni, wearing 25, will be Enrico Ricky Jordan.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have him here after the semester break.
Ricky has lit it up a few times throughout his career. High-scoring player. He, too, is out of Scarborough, if I'm not mistaken.
He went to Bethune Collegiate,
yep.
Bob Selkirk's program, and he's just out of school for a semester. I think he's going to be back, and we're looking forward to having him. The 3-second call down here.
Going to provide an offensive spark that's much needed.
Absolutely, yeah. He can shoot the three. There's no question about that. And he's a very quick, and he's a very good man-to-man defender, too.
Dwight Donald on the point for the Colts. Dishing off to Henry. Nice pick set. Open shot off the bank. Missed.
Now here's
and
the finish.
Bert Hill.
See, that's all right. He came down with the ball, and he pumped, and he finished. And now he's got 2 shots on the foul line.
Hill will be rewarded for the hard work. Go to the charity stripe to shoot a deuce.
There's Kim Henry shooting the banker. I'm not sure he should have shot a banker from there. There's Bert right in good position, pumping and going in and drawing the contact. That's what we want inside.
Hill gets the first. Smile on his face as he dents the score sheet.
He's from Cedar Brae Collegiate, and a lot of great players that come out of there. But see, here's another freshman error. Stepping in too soon. Ball straight through.
Lane
now
violation.
We're in our zone press.
Removes the point. Long pass, no trouble breaking the zone. The Alumni now underneath the boards. Garvin Antoine with the turnaround from the paint misses.
Oh, we're on the boards. That's encouraging.
Donald with the rebound, and now will carry up, being checked by Enrico Ricky Jordan. Nice pick set. Defensive change. Couldn't get the pass back up top.
Well, he's trying to swing the ball against man-to-man. That's pretty tough.
There you see Mike Brown, a couple jumping jacks. He looks like a lumberjack, doesn't he? An understandable slip.
Oh, wow. That's another lazy pass.
Tough pass to make work inside. Mark Maynard with the ill-advised pass, and nice rejection there.
Great rejection by Dwight.
And that Dwight Donald once again getting up, showing the leaping ability. Terrific defensive play. Donald swinging to Henry, losing control. Picked off by Lloyd Wilson. Wilson loses control in turn. Mike Brown, the big man, picks it up back to Wilson. Wilson with the tough jumper. Good rebound, and once again, it's Dwight Donald getting up. And he's been impressive at both ends.
Yeah, he's all over the court. He's playing really well. Here comes Greg Tennant in for the Alumni, and looks like
Gerald Herbert.
Yeah.
And 24 is Michael Francis. And who do we see still on the bench? Yes, the lanky young man in the white T-shirt with the orange sweater and the blue shorts, bending over, looking like a coach.
Well, you know, a lot of times when a player's been sitting a long time, they like to get a stretch by standing up when there is
a mismatch all the
time out.
Let's have a listen to Martin Paul now.
It's a mismatch all the time down low, so we got to get it down low. If he doesn't have anything, look for the ball. All right, let's bring it in, guys. Defense.
Show them all young.
One.
The same play, by the way, all right? X is in
2, 3. They're shooters.
One, two, three.
Someone in there petitioning on the Alumni for a zone. Boy, I wonder why they would be doing that. And instead, they're saying, "No, let's go with let's go with the man instead." Although I think zone was probably the popular choice.
If there had been a vote, there was no vote. Martin
Ray
says,
for Perry.
Oh, here
wide
we are.
open.
Alex
Gymnopoulos
for the 2. Good.
Easy deuce for
nice
Alex.
Baseline jumper. Now we're in our zone press. Here's the zone. Here's our zone. Draw the charge. That's good.
Good ball movement by the Alumni. Second chance. They won't get it. Tough play under your own board. A blind pass back in. And do you want to see them trying to save the ball underneath their own hoop,
No,
throwing it blindly?
No. That's a no-no.
2 chances there for Michael Francis. It must be the taped wrist that he couldn't convert.
Okay, now Bert Hill is falling out of bounds here. He throws the ball back over his head, a blind pass to Greg Tennant, and Greg Tennant does what he's supposed to do.
Wrong sweater.
Takes it to the hoop.
Tennant misses on the first of 2. A little discussion now as the Alumni are getting their signal straight. 21, Gerald Herbert directing traffic. And now the varsity inbounding. No front court pressure from the Alumni. I'm shocked.
They seem to be falling back on defense.
Turnover for the Colts. 13-point game. We are 5 minutes into the second half. Nice fake shot and dish down to the baseline. Tennant again going down low. Looks like he might have got a finger in the eye.
I think Brent Kitson hit him as he went through.
Up top, all alone. Ricky Jordan will step up and take that shot 9 times out of 10. He'll probably hit it about 5 or 6 uncontested. Missed that time.
Here we go, 3-on-2.
See the Colts run the break instead. Wisely held up. Swinging the ball to the near side. 15 is Derek Payne getting his first game action.
Shot we got out of that.
Gymnopoulos
tries to jump hook. When he's in the middle of the key, you know, he could have turned and taken a short jumper.
Nice pass into him from Derek Payne.
Very good.
Just into the match.
They're running their half-court offense. Here's a 3. That should be in there.
Rafer Perry gets the front side. Oh, my.
Nice hustle by Derek Payne.
Mike Brown went up for that board.
Derek.
Nice dish. And Payne taking it to the hoop. Nice rebound by Kim Henry and a nice dish.
Derek Payne's a player from Cedar Brae Collegiate. And here's Kim Henry. There's the dish. There's Derek trying to take it to the hoop. 2-shot foul. Got to take advantage of these foul shots.
Payne misses both. Rebound by Francis. And now Ricky Jordan has control. Brown looking to back in. Nice leaner, and that's a nice solo effort. Not a whole lot of defense that's going to stop that.
No. Very tough move.
Rafer Perry. Up top, Payne. Going to go baseline, changes his mind. Tough for him down low. Perry.
Now we got it where we want it.
We go to the baseline, get the good shot. But the miss down low. That was Brent Kitson who had that shot. Like you say, Coach, you got the ball where you want it to. I guess you take small victories out of it.
You know, like a post move, like a drop step in that kind of situation would have either drawn a foul or made the basket. But he made the turnaround jumper. I think they're a little intimidated by the size of some of the Alumni players down low.
And back into the game for the Alumni, number 23, Martin Paul, who doesn't have a point, doesn't even have a sniff.
Here's his check.
And there's I think that's his first time on the score. No, he did have a free throw apparently that he missed. No, it was a foul earlier, I think.
There's a bit of a dirty play too. I don't know if you noticed it.
Yeah.
He stepped in front.
Who's up on the ball?
Little malicious intent, I think.
thought so.
Absolutely.
Maybe he's getting a little frustrated out there.
Yeah, maybe a deliberate 2-shot foul, give possession back to the team.
I thought so. The referees might have missed it.
Chris Gore and Wayne Bailey. We'll have to have a chat with them next time they drop by the scorer's table. Open shot taken. Payne can't find the mark. Gymnopoulos out-hustles Martin Paul for the rebound. No surprise there. Payne goes to the lane and can't find the ball. Or can't get the ball to drop. Certainly found the ball.
Yeah. Little discipline, though, that time. You know, if he'd brought the ball back out and ran the clock. Oh!
Martin Paul short again. No surprise there. Paul with the second chance. And he can't get it to go. Martin Paul now 0 for 3 from the floor. We are keeping a specialty stat on Mr. Martin Paul. 0 for 3. Yeah, 3. That's right. That's how many shots you've missed today, Marty.
That's 1.
Are they pulling him? Yeah, I think they're pulling him.
Martin, step over here for a second. 0 for 3 from the floor now. Big second half. What's going on?
I don't know. I was on for 2 seconds. Apparently, I have like 5 fouls now. I don't know. That's...
I think 2 fouls, but 1 foul, we're getting told.
What's up with Brown?
But Martin, it's your only chance to get on the score sheet via foul, so you might as well take it, pal. Rayford Perry, nice move, going in the lane and dish inside. And you like to see that, Rayford Perry distribute, but again, you're clutching the headset with Wayne Rowe missing.
Finishing. We've got the very quick guards. Here it is. A nice penetration. A very nice dish. But where is that strong move to the basket? It was just a touch foul, really.
And he went up a little tentatively.
I thought so, too, with one hand. You got to take that ball up with 2 hands square to the basket. And now what we do is we don't convert. I mean, these are all freshman things that we're going to get solved, I hope, in about another couple of months. But right now it's very frustrating.
For the playoff setup, do you have time? Do you have that luxury of the month?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's an 8-team league. 4 teams make it, and hopefully we can turn it around starting on Wednesday.
Off to right now an 0-4 start.
Yep.
But a couple of games, I understand, been a little closer.
They're
than
very
perhaps
close, and we played a very good tournament down in Montreal against John Abbott. Won a game there against a team that's ranked, and we just played one of those games where we worked very hard, kept the score low.
Wayne Rowe leaning in, took it strong that time.
But now a little discipline now. Bring the ball back out. The coach is yelling. Set up our half-court offense. That's what we're trying to work on.
Good heads up by Derek Payne, who got it to Perry.
Now we got it where we want it, and
inside.
There it goes. No.
Turnaround by Rowe, doesn't find the mark.
But it's a good shot.
43-34. The varsity leading the Alumni. 10.5 minutes to play in the second half. Randy Andrechu along with Dave West, and in our studios, Glenn Sutherland. Glad to have you along if you're just joining us.
Oh, beautiful.
You're watching the Centennial Varsity Colts and Rayford Perry with the driving layup for another deuce against the Centennial Alumni.
We're playing man-to-man right now.
Good defense. Here goes Donald all alone. Won't dunk.
Oh, thank God he didn't. We need the 2 points, I think, for further on. I think one of the Alumni players twisted his ankle down low.
Dwight Donald now with 15 points, leading all scorers in this game. Three-pointer nowhere close by Mike Brown. Brown throwing up the air ball, and again, discipline as your team pulls it out. Rayford Perry slowing things up. To Donald.
We're running a flex right here.
Gymnopoulos. Donald again. Back up top. Wide open 3. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Rayford, although he was certainly long enough, had time and hesitated. And
yeah, he was a little tentative in taking that shot. And the reason was because we're trying to run our offense, trying to run our flex, and there are a couple of players who weren't running it, and Rayford, as a last resort, took the shot.
Coach Courtney Bailey yelling instructions to Wayne Rowe, perhaps pointing out, as you did, a couple guys were not running the offense, and there he is again, back in the game. Martin Paul being checked by Donald. This will be nice to see. Paul playing the point against the much younger, much quicker, and most certainly more talented Dwight Donald. Paul open, nice backside cut. Martin Paul looking for the foul, and he doesn't get it. And a 2-on-1 given up now. Here comes the varsity. Easy
Henry,
lay-in.
2-on-1, very good play.
Henry finishes off with the left hand. And the turnover by Paul got that whole play started.
Look, I think Martin saw 2 points there too early.
He's looking around for help now. Poor guy.
Yeah.
I just wondered, he knew he was going to be on camera a lot. Did he wear his normal allotment of
makeup? This is the replay
makeup?
of this one. Here he goes right to the hoop.
Not.
Stripped.
Negative. Denied. Varsity with control.
It's a pick and roll. He doesn't take it to the basket, though, Wayne. Come on.
Row up top. Donald now being checked by Paul. That's not much of a matchup there. Picked off. Donald open. Elevates well over Martin Paul. I think Marty was looking at the bottom of his sneaker there. Fortunately for him. And we're going to get a foul with the body in.
1-3 on us? Yeah. He had the ball.
Well, now he's complaining to the referees.
He had the ball.
Sour grapes.
Actually, you're right about Dwight Donald soaring over top of Martin, and it could be the shoes. Martin's got, looks like a Czechoslovakian pair of shoes on out there, and they're not the kind of shoes that get you up in the air that well.
No, and with Marty's legs, or what we can see of them, that's not going to help him any either. Just wondering if he wanted some cheese with that wine that he was going on about. Here's the point of contention here. It's after the play. Or no, that's the hack foul.
Yeah, that's from behind. That's Kim Henry on the line here. As I said, he's from Pickering High School, and they really have a tradition of winning teams. And what you like to get when you're recruiting is are players from winning programs. Not necessarily the best player on a losing team, but players that are team players on a winning program. Oh,
there's Martin Paul with the lay-in and a standing ovation as the place just erupts. No, they don't. That's his first deuce and a lay-in. What happened to the 6 3-pointers he called in the first half? And now, he's going after that ball out of bounds. He is psyched now.
I think he's ready.
Ready for the bench.
It was a nice layup.
It was.
It was a nice layup.
A good move. And a foul is called.
Oh, he's lucky he did turn that one over.
Yes, very lucky. Very fortunate, Martin, that pass.
But you can see there are flashes of something
flashes
there.
of what?
Something there.
Flashes of white from the T-shirt. That's about it. Look, he's setting up in the corner looking for the 3. Followed well, though. Went to the basket looking for the rebound. A little tentative going after that ball. Doesn't want to mess with the young bucks.
Oh, nice pass.
And now all alone. Nice move in the air, but couldn't find even the rim on the layup. Kim Henry changing hands there.
Altering his shot when he had a layup.
Donald up top. Swinging the ball inside. Paul gets a hand on it. One on the shot clock. Shot is short. Play will continue. Kim Henry chastised from the color commentating chair by Coach David West.
Did you see what happened, though? Like, he's playing safety. He shoots the ball from way outside and then goes to the basket, and then, unfortunately, we don't have anybody back.
Checking back in now for the Colts, 21, Brent Kitson. The unenviable task of taking on Mike Brown one-on-one. Backdoor pass, turnaround, gets the side of the backboard. Scramble for the ball underneath. Martin Paul picks it up. Oh, yeah, he'll go outside the 3-pointer and check up. Nice ball movement down low by the Alumni. They, too, missed the layup, and it'll be a turnover. Good ball movement there by the old guys.
They hit the open man well.
50-36, under 7 minutes remaining in regulation. And let's hope this one doesn't go to extra time.
For the Alumni sake.
Yep. And the Alumni with some front court pressure. They get the turnover and the shot. They miss. Second chance is missed. They'll keep it alive, though. Working hard on the offensive board. Nice job by Neil Terrell. Press once again. See if the varsity can break it. They get the pass inbounds. Not able to swing it, and then they do get through. Kitson not able to handle the pass. Nice press break there along the wing. As the Alumni now, if with a 2-pointer, get to bring it within 10. And again, we see an absence of somebody on the floor. I guess the Alumni wanting to make their big charge, so they put Marty on the bench.
Has he gone?
Is he gone from the game? No, He's on the bench.
What do you think, Vasco?
There he is.
It's our game looking at the scoreboard. I think we need your leadership in there. Yeah. We're coming back.
Yeah.
2 big points tonight.
Yeah.
The semi-cynical font operator on Martin Paul as well.
A good sign that he's not going to go back in is when he starts to put his street clothes on. I think somebody's pointed there.
He might as well have been playing in them, the effort he's given tonight. Rejection inside and controlled by the varsity. Ray for Perry. Swinging it up. That's Donald to Perry. Swing it to the far side. Henry. Open shot. Rattles around. Doesn't fall. Alumni breaking. Mike Brown. Somebody get the number of this freight train coming. It's number 22 taking it to the hoop.
Seemed to be a path cleared there.
Yeah, all of a sudden they saw who it was, and no, I don't think in an exhibition I'm going to take a charge here. The Alumni within 10. To Henry. Inside, Kitson. At the top, back to Henry. Defended well. 2 Alumni got over there, but a foul on the play as Lloyd Wilson got the hand in.
It's Kim Henry. He's very quick on the dribble. He has a very good crossover dribble. Here's Kitson throwing the ball to the wing. Takes it straight up, and he's fouled. I think they're going to call that a 2-shot foul, but I don't know. It looked like he was passing that ball off.
The big question of the night, I was going to just bring it to your roster's attention, or bring attention to your roster about this point, but I see it on the Alumni. Does Centennial have something going about recruiting guys with 2 first names? I mean, Dwight Donald, either of them works. Kim Henry works. Mark Maynard works. On the Alumni, of course, Martin Paul, that goes without saying. We've got Gerald Herbert, Michael Francis.
I don't know.
Garvin Antoine. That's 7 in this game who really we can call men without last names.
Well, are you sure that we're using the correct names? Like, this is another question. Or maybe we have the last names backwards.
If there was a comma in there, we could very well have gotten this mistaken.
Because if that's Paul Martin instead of Martin Paul, we may be abusing the wrong guy.
We will continue to abuse him under any name that we can. Gymnopolis, nice looking,
nice turnaround. He has a nice jump shot, but it takes so long to release it.
Yeah.
Here's Lloyd Wilson, and
stop
he
and
loves
pop.
to shoot.
3-point won't drop.
He's got the rebound.
Ricky Jordan up top. Looking down low. Nice move down low. Tennant caught underneath. Rejection again by Kitson. The second time we've seen him under the glass saying, "No, sir, you're not coming in here."
He keeps his hands up high, and that's important. And he doesn't absolutely leave his feet. That's a good play.
I'd like to see that from your defensive player. Already have the hands up in the air. Less likely to get called for the foul.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. They have that verticality rule.
Verticality.
Yeah.
Wow.
That, they give.
What does that mean?
They give the defensive player the benefit of the doubt if he goes up straight vertically.
Absolutely.
That didn't used to happen in the old days. Everything was just an automatic foul.
Yeah.
There was no such thing as a rejection.
Now you have the imaginary plane directly in front of you.
Right. It's getting very geometric.
Payne to Hill. Hill, jump shot over the defender and good.
A couple of baseline jumpers.
Bert Hill showing a little gumption, just taking it to his van.
Uh-oh.
Gymnopolis staying with Brown. Give him credit. Fouls on the floor. Shot won't count. The Alumni still within 10. And to see a couple more getting ready to check in.
Alex is looking for a doctor down here as Mike Brown goes through. He got an elbow to the face, and he's trying to figure out why that's his foul.
Yeah, we've seen Brown with the shrug or the little forearm shimmy on occasion, just to clear a little ground. Dish inside, and that basket will count. Nice feed and nice finish from Michael Francis. Foul on Bert Hill.
All right, this is a good play inside, but yeah. Yeah, Bert Hill's out of position. He should be closer to the baseline and should have been facing the player. We're running a zone defense, and he was in the wrong spot. He fell asleep.
Francis gets the 3-point play to be completed, and the Alumni will take the ball and then decide, no, I guess after we score, we do have to give it back. Front court pressure, long breakaway pass, and that is cleared easily. Payne, instead of going to the basket, held it up. But your boys are going to get a break and control the ball. Harry up top to Donald.
Still discipline here. Run our half court. We're up 7 points.
Donald being checked
3
by
minutes
Brown.
left. 3:24.
And Brown sprung out of that little squat he was in like a jaguar. Got called with the foul.
Coach doesn't like this because he's hanging on to the ball. Guys are making all kinds of cuts. Mike Brown dives in there and helps us out because the clock was running down.
Both teams in the bonus. Donald will go to the line for the front end. Again, short on the free throws.
Now we gotta pull this ball out and run a clock a little bit.
3 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. A 7-point lead for the varsity, and a foul down low on the Alumni. It's Chris Edwards.
Name of the game is to win the game. This is just a reach-in foul. It's not a bad pass into Wayne Rowe.
And again, a 1-and-1 opportunity presents itself to the varsity.
The coach is yelling to concentrate, and we've missed a lot. Down this stretch here, we have to make these foul shots. It's really important. Not worry about anything else.
How has the free throw shooting been on this young team so far?
Less than 50%. It's a real problem.
Nothing wrong with that?
No. Well, let's see the back end. This is important.
Always a coach, huh? Never satisfied.
No, but the back end, you know how they sort of relax after the first shot, say that's over, and then the second one doesn't mean much. There we go, off the back iron. So
back up to an 8-point lead for the varsity.
Play some man-to-man defense here. This is what we have to do now. Some good, tough man-to-man.
3 minutes remaining to play.
This is not bad. This is not bad. Wayne Rowe's on Mike.
Getting
That's
the ball
a good
into
strip
the hands
by Derek.
of the big man.
Now, what's he going to do with it here? It's 1 against 2. Takes it to
Take
the hoop.
It to the hoop, and it'll count. Derek Payne.
That was a very good thing. It was 2-on-1. He had somebody on his right, and he switched hands, if you notice here, Randy. He went to his left hand and rolled the basket in. Good job. Used his body very well.
The foul.
Very well.
Nice work.
And got Greg Tennant to jump over top of him. Good work.
Now, when we see, if we get another chance of Derek leaning forward, he's got the little marking deal in the head there.
He's a hairstylist.
Oh, again,
yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a hairstylist. He does these. I forget the name of the place he's in Scarborough where he has his shop.
Is there a team discount?
I'm pretty sure there is. I think a lot of them have gone.
Now, question is, are you going?
No, that's a definite no.
You can get one of those lines carved in there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. And speaking...
there's only 2:35 left, and I guess Martin's got to save the day here.
Speaking of taking a chance, you getting your hair cut, the Alumni putting Martin Paul back in the game. They're going to do it. Paul with the big deuce on the night. He has been horrible, hasn't he?
Like he told me he could play.
Yeah, he did do a lot of talking.
Hope his parents aren't watching.
And if you've just joined us, why we are riding him, Martin, of course, our usual analyst here on the broadcast, and, of course, a member of the alumni team tonight, and he called a splendiferous performance from himself, and he just hasn't delivered.
Now, here's something that drives coaches crazy, right? There hasn't been a 3-second call for the whole game. We're talking about 38 minutes. At a critical time in the game when we're trying to hold the ball, there's a 3-second call with 5 seconds left on the clock.
Well, trying to get the game a little closer, perhaps. Brown goes to the bank, can't make the deposit. Third chance inside, hurts some slapping, and the indication is the basket will count.
Mike gets good position. You can't move this man out of there once he's in there. He's very tough. There he is. What are we going to do? I think in that situation, you give him the 2 and move on.
Unfortunately for the varsity, they may be giving him a 3. To come within 7. Doesn't fall, but the rebound there, and now they're within 6. 57-51. The press is coming for the Alumni. Long pass. And they're going to give the ball to the Alumni. Wasn't sure whether it went off Derek Payne or not.
Yeah, off Derek Payne. May not have been advisable to throw that long pass with 1:30 left. Now,
and speaking of
what
ill-advised
do we do? 2
passes.
on 1. Now we pull it out. Now there's a smart play. We don't need that extra 2 points.
With the clock winding down and the foul committed.
And we got our best foul shooter on the line, so this is going to work out.
Lloyd Wilson smartly getting the foul to quickly get the Colts onto the line in the 1-and-1. It's the only chance for the Alumni now, really, is to try to foul and get back into this.
These are the kind of games we have to play, unfortunately. We have to play in the 60s and 50s in a league where people are scoring 80 and 90. But we don't have the firepower right now to get 80 or 90 points. 60, 65, 70.
Perry missed the front end. And a timeout is taken by the Alumni. And a 6-point margin. It's been up as high as 18, now down to 6 points. And the Alumni perhaps saving a little bit, experience, a little sandbagging action happening.
Boy, I hope Martin's playing this last minute, 23 seconds.
Let's listen in and see what they're going to do.
Go inside. They're going to foul Mike anyway.
1, 2, 3. Defense.
Where was he in the first half?
He
He could have used that strategy in the first half.
Yeah, I'm surprised he wasn't calling for the ball to try to go out in a 3-point blaze of glory. Here's Courtney Bailey.
All right, come on, let's go. Suck it up for a minute. 1, 2, 3, go!
Yeah, Mike is planting himself down there above the box. This is going to be a big problem for us. Now, right away, Wayne is trying to front him, and he's going to get pushed off, and now we've got a problem.
Good defense. The pass wasn't deep enough, but you're right. Brown certainly had position, and with that little...
He's just going to push off.
That subtle
Now
forearm.
he's inside. That's good. Derek did a good job there of coming down to help out.
Derek Payne pushing the ball up the floor. Ray for Perry.
This is good. Now,
going to be
foul.
double teamed in the corner.
That's a 2-shooter, I would think.
I believe it's going to be a bonus.
Just bonuses. We're not up to 10 fouls yet? 10 team fouls?
They're well above 10 team fouls.
In our league, that's a 2-shoot.
I'm not sure that they're aware of that, to be
maybe
quite
not,
honest
maybe
with you.
not, maybe not.
Perry, got a smile. You got to like that.
Good job.
And he gets the good roll. Alumni, nice save, but into the hands of the varsity. And Martin Paul,
boy, where
did
he
steal.
come from? Where did he
Behind
come
the
from?
back. He's not going to get too far with this.
Oh my God.
Paul tries to go playground, gives it up. Well advised to do so. They're going to work the ball down low.
Look like one of those Nike commercials.
No. Ray for Perry. Wayne Rowe is going to get hacked. Are they going to call a foul? They are going to get the foul. Wayne Rowe will go to the line.
The assistant coach is working hard here. We're up 8.
40 seconds remaining. 1-and-1 opportunity for Wayne Rowe. Martin Paul just looked at the scoring table and said, he's up top. You can't see him in the camera shot right now. He said, what, are you trying to triple team me? He is flattering himself something terrible.
A lot of people laughed at that. Is he really serious or is he just kidding?
Oh, I think he's serious. I think he's serious. I think he thinks he's worthy of a triple team. 3-point shot put up. Paul grabbing the garbage underneath.
Where's he going?
He's going to try to make a long-distance phone call. Unfortunately, he's got nothing but a busy signal. 10-point gap.
Yo, D, walking back there.
Here he is with the inbounds. Running up top, looking to unload.
He's calling for it. He's calling
for it. Fortunately, no one's answering. And he's looking now. What? Why didn't you feed me? Look.
somebody gave us the job of choosing the player of the game. The
An alumni player of the game.
Have you got Martin Paul down?
Well,
How many votes you got?
I don't know who it's going to be, but I know who it's not going to be. Ready for Perry with the dish. Junk time now. In the final 10 seconds, the varsity will hold on for a victory here as the clock winds down. Final three-pointer from NBA range, taken and missed,
Right, a good win.
but it's of no consequence as the varsity holds on and wins 61-51 over the Alumni. We have to come up with a player of the game now from the Alumni, and I don't think there's too much question. I guess we give it to the big man down low, number 22, Mike Brown.
Thank goodness he didn't get down low until later.
As we see the Alumni, and this is
Dana
Dana Gore.
Is out there, and she's presenting a T-shirt to the Alumni player of the game.
She is the Director of Special Events from the Alumni Association. Mike Brown is the Alumni player of the game, receiving the sweatshirt from the Alumni Association.
Bet you that's an XXL.
Oh, it better be. I'm not sure if there's enough X spaces for the X's on the label on that thing. And congratulations to both sides. We're going to cut away for a brief moment, get some post-game comments, particularly from him, number 23. What excuses does he have? We'll come back and find out. Stay with us. You're watching the Centennial College Game of the Week on Trillium Community 10.
Trillium Cable 10 offers you a wide variety of programming, from entertainment and news shows to political and sports specials. Now that we're listed weekly in your local paper, it's easier for you to choose what you wish to see. Just look us up in the Agincourt News, the West Hill News, the East End News, or the Scarborough News. Pick one up at any convenience store and see what's happening in your community. You're just a step away from watching Trillium Cable. Take the medium to the maximum. Your copy of the Agincourt News, the East End News, the West Hill News, or the Scarborough News can be obtained by calling 291-2583.
Could go 95 yards from the score. To the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, West Hill Warriors.
Thursday, December 16th at 9 p.m. when our focus will be crime, justice, and community safety. How safe are you, and how can we make our communities safer? Host Steve Gilchrist leads the discussion along with representation from Metro Police, the Bar Association, victims advocates, and members of a provincial conservative task force on safety. Tune in and phone in. Impact, Thursday, December 16th at 9 p.m.
Centennial College, there you see our final score. The varsity over the Alumni, the Young Pups over the Old Fellas, 61-51, and it wasn't even that close. Welcome back, Randy Andreichu, along with my usual partner, but player this evening, Martin Paul, David West, the head coach of the varsity squad, good enough to fill in as a color analyst. And, Coach, do you want your first shot at him, or shall I take it? Martin, you called for a great game. You said you would be the human highlight reel. 6 3-pointers, guaranteed, yada, 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 a deuce on an easy layup. How do you account for that?
Well, you guys must admit you weren't rolling when I was skying in for the dunks.
Actually, I appreciated you playing against the younger players. They had the experience of playing an experienced player, and they know what they'll be like 10 years down the road.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
It'll discourage them from playing forever.
How was it? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was lots of fun. Those guys are really quick. And I'm not, so that's probably why I'm sweating.
Now, was this the same story 10 years ago, or did you have an extra step back then?
No, I was slow 10 years ago, too, so I don't know what the big deal is. I just used to shoot, and I think I was 0 for 3 tonight, so.
Yeah, but
you got one. You had the layup.
Oh, that
1 for 4.
Yeah, it was a super layup, a driving layup. And you had some words of advice to the players on your team, and they took it to heart. They put Mike Brown down the post, and they almost came back there in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, well...
Maybe coaching's your thing.
Well, I don't know. I thought about coaching Centennial, but I hear they have a ringer of a coach. So.
And speaking of the coach of Centennial, David West, your thoughts on the performance from your squad?
Well, we really appreciate the fact the alumni played us tonight. We need the game. We need a win because with young players, confidence is a very big factor. And Martin gave us a lot of confidence. And, maybe next week we have to play a very tough team. We have to play Seneca on Wednesday, and then we play St. Lawrence on Saturday. And we want to close the old year off in a winning note and then get it together over the holidays.
Now, 2 oxygen tanks were set up by the old guys' bench. You had one all to yourself. Was it that rough on you?
That's right. They had the IV too for me on the end.
I didn't see the IV go in.
With the insulin sugar and everything. So.
Well, congratulations for surviving, if nothing else. So you don't want to really say you played that great a game because, quite frankly, partner, no. But David, thanks for stepping in Martin's place, and it'll be a pleasure to have you, sir, back in the chair where you belong as an analyst rather than on the floor. Congratulations to you, partner. Let's go back upstairs now to Glenn to finish things off. Glenn?
And thank you very much, Randy. And, of course, Coach Dave West taking a turn as a broadcaster instead of a coach tonight. And, of course, Martin Paul, who provided lots of color on the court and off the court as well. Taking a look at our next game of the week here on Trillium Community 10. It's the Durham Colts versus the Durham Lords versus the Centennial Colts in OCAA men's volleyball, Sunday, December the 12th. That game will be televised at 3 o'clock from the Dell Gym of the Progress campus of Centennial College. Final score of tonight's game, the Centennial Colts defeat the Centennial Alumni by a score of 61-51 in men's basketball here on the Game of the Week. So for Randy Andrechu, Coach Dave West, and Martin Paul, I'm Glenn Sutherland saying good night for the entire crew from the Dell Gym on the Progress campus of Centennial College.